Thank you for joining me. This is Fly My Mavic, out in the field with a screen recorder, so please do excuse the audio. This video was born out of a video that I watched a couple of days ago on a channel called Get Busy Living. And in that video he was discussing the Mini 2 and the fail-safe features, which you can now see on the screen at the moment. It says signal lost, aircraft will return home, descend or hover when disconnected. So if it's set to return to home and it loses signal with the controller, it will return home. If it's set to descend and you lose signal with the controller, it will descend, and hover, obviously it hovers. Now, he said in the video that it would hover until the battery ran low, and at which point it would then just land. Well, that to me struck a bit of a chord, because DJI pride themselves on quads that come back. They have the low battery return to home. So I would have thought that even though it's set to hover on signal lost, that it would automatically initiate a low battery return to home. So that's what I'm out in the field to test. I'm going to fly the quad round. When it gets to about 20%, I'm going to let it hover, and we'll see whether or not it returns to home or if it indeed just lands. So let's get busy flying and find out if Get Busy Living was right. Okay, so we're at 17% battery. And it's now at 145 feet up, because it starts coming down on one time to reconnect. So let's turn off the controller. Controller's now been turned off. You can see RC not connected to mobile. So now we're going to see whether it wants to return home or whether it just wants to land where it is. Okay, just had to restart the controller because the quad,
go home. Critically low battery.
just manoeuvred itself into some really strange position and just disappeared from where it was. As you can see, it was over that way and now it's not. So all sorts of strange things were happening. I'm going to land the quad and we'll go back to the studio and we'll discuss what's happened. Okay, so back in the studio, and as you see, the test didn't quite go according to plan. But I did test this yesterday, and it did, from hover, it did, on low battery, it just landed. Now, obviously answers that question, but on this occasion, something went wrong. It was in the air, I'd switched the controller off, and I think probably around 10% battery when it gets to critical. The quad rotated to the left 45 degrees, and then it just started to meander off. As you can see, looking down from the picture, I'd taken off I was hovering over a strip of land, and then when the camera comes back on, it moved sort of 10-15 feet to the left of me. That's why I panicked. I thought it's going to fly away. There's something not quite right with it. But when I did reconnect the app with the controller, I heard this.
Go home. Critically low battery.
Now, was that the app telling me to go home, or was it trying to initiate return to home? I don't know. But either way, the question's answered. In hover mode, it does quite simply descend. Now, picture this. You're flying over a lake. It's out to sea. It's right out over there. You can still see it. It's still within visual line of sight. Don't worry. You're not breaking the law or anything. You slip on the bank. You drop your controller in the water. Fizz, fizz, fizz. The controller stops working. You've got no way of getting that quad back. No way whatsoever. Because your controller's dead. It's just going to hover there, and then you're going to watch it just descend slowly into the watery oblivion. Why does the automatic low battery return to home not kick in? Why? Why? I mean, this is aircraft safety settings. Signal lost. It's not low battery. That should still persist. It should still have low battery return to home. If you've set this to hover, that's just for signal lost, not for low battery. The low battery return to home should be it's the basic core fundamental of DJI quads. People say, well, what happens if the battery goes low? It automatically returns to home. Yeah, not if you set this to hover. So I can't see any reason how they can call this safety settings. I really can't, because what's safe about hovering and then no automatic return to home? Why would you set it to hover? I suppose the only time would be if you're on a moving object, a boat, and you obviously don't want it to return to the home point, because that would be, you know, in that direction somewhere. I can't work out why. But anyway, the point is this, quite simply, yes, in hover mode, there's no automatic return to home with low battery, which I think is absolutely stupid. It really is.